Watching the Highlight Zone with Wayne 15 Sports Director Glenn Marini. Local sports coverage you can count on.
We got next. We ready to flex. We're ready to rock. Headed to the top.
A lot of emotions, but just staying calm throughout the game.
We're really confident. We hope to make a deep run come hard.
We got next. Can't settle for less. I'ma need your best. So give it all you got. We got next.
It's one of the 5 biggest gyms in the country. Obviously a local connection this year. So it's just a great atmosphere for the guys to see all the history.
You better recognize who the winners is. Huh?
Deck the halls with basketballs. We got a holiday hoops edition of the Highlight Zone right here. And if Santa's a basketball junkie, one of his first stops on Christmas night would be Marion's Bill Green Arena. It's one of the biggest high school gyms in the state, nay the country, nay the world. Andy McDonald spent his day there at the Marion Hoops Classic, and he joins us with your Highlight Zone Game of the Week. Andy.
Hey, thank you, Glenn. I guess I forgot my ugly Christmas sweater. Christmas time, time for seeing, old friends. In that case, it's your Game of the Week. Bishop Dwenger taking on Richmond, led by former Northside head coach Shabazz Khalik. Dwenger versus Richmond. It's your Highlight Zone Game of the Week down in Marion. The Saints off to a 4-1 start. Khalik, first year in Richmond. He also brought along the Croft brothers, Lucas and Drew. First quarter, Dwenger starting strong. John Hoffman on the inside. It's 10-zip Saints still in the first. Richmond's Lucas Croft. Yeah, he's the transfer from the Legends from deep. That's the lone bucket for the Red Devils in the first quarter. It's 17-3 after one. Second quarter, Saints not messing around. Hayden Smithy, Phil and Spiffy. A trio of threes for the senior for the Saints. They take a huge 35-21 advantage at the half. And I talked to head coach Matt Koskoff after the game, and he said, if this team is sharing the ball, they are especially lethal. Move to the second half. The ball movement finds Matt Kachansky. Kaching, corner pocket, he drills this one. And then coming the other way, it's QB1, Brendan Lytle on the football team, the state championship football team. Also PG1, 3 in transition. He had 12 points. Croft, the Ball State commit. You'll see him here, the tough bucket in the lane. He had 16 points for this Saints defense. Hey, they're the 6th seed in the SAC Holiday Tournament. How about that? Dwenger, 3 players in double figures. Bishop Dwenger, they win easily, 61-44, the final.
We have a mindset to play hard this year. We have a different kind of culture than we have in the past. We expect to win when we come into play. And playing against 2 great Fort Wayne players like the Croft brothers, got to contain them like we did in the first half. Second half, they kind of started getting a little hotter, but we executed pretty well, and I think that's why we won.
In the first quarter, all 5 starters got on the board, so how tough is this team to defend?
I think we're tough to defend when we share the ball. We're all pretty selfless players and just pass the ball around. Anyone on any given night can drop 15, 20 points.
We've really tried to stress sharing the basketball, and when we do that, because we have guys that can score. Yeah, Hayden's the go-to guy, but Jared, I think Matt led us in scoring today, had 16. I think we had 3 guys in double figures. So if we do that, I think we can stay competitive in a lot of games.
Next up, Dwenger, the 6th seed, like I said, in the SAC Holiday Tournament. They face the 3 seed Homestead next Thursday at 9 a.m. Glenn, back to you.
Of course, they beat Homestead already in the regular season, did the Fighting Kostophians. Hey, let's stay at the Marion Classic. Snyder battling Brownsburg. The Panthers coming in 6-0, ranked 11th in 4A. Cameron Alford, though, he could be an Indiana All-Star this year. He finds Malik Edmonds. It's an 8-6 game. Snyder coming the other way. Carson Jenkins, the bespectacled freshman, nails the 3, and it's a 1-point game. How about Pearson Thomas? Little alley-oop action for Brownsburg right there. Brownsburg up 16-9, and then this is really what changed the complexion of the game. The sequence right here. Reese Thomas with 3 threes, and that would give Brownsburg a 20-point lead at the half, 41-21. Third quarter, Snyder sophomore Michael Ely sniping. He had 9, makes it a 13-point game. But I mentioned Cameron Alford could be an Indiana All-Star. He's getting some D1 looks, and, well, that's kind of why. He hangs and it hits as Snyder with its first loss of the season, 64-50. Staying down in Marion, Gary Andrews in the North Side Legends squaring off with Liberty Christian. Second quarter, it's Ryan Collins. The kid is only a freshman, but he's coming up big in these highlights. Legends up 25-13 later. Legends again, Collins again. How open was he? 28-13 Legends, and he had 12, did Mr. Collins. Shabazz Khalik Watching his old team in action, he'd have to like this. We're still in the second quarter, and it's Collins burying the three again. A little later, you'll see Demetrius Clark. Demetrius Clark down low would get this bucket right before the half, and Northside earns a win over Liberty Christian 60-50.
Coming out the half, we kind of slacked a little bit, thinking we had it in the bag already. And then going into the fourth, we kind of stepped it up again like we played at the beginning of the game, and that helped us a lot to pull away.
We got some young kids, and we've had some games where we played some really good teams tough for like a half, or for like 12 minutes. And then we have adversity hit, and we don't bounce back. So it's good to see today we had adversity hit, and we did bounce back.
2 out of 3 for the SAC in Marion. Northside, your 10th seed in the SAC tourney. They're going to play 7th seed in Wayne at 4 o'clock on Wednesday. Craig Young now back in a Wayne uniform, so that is a tough 7th seed. Late game at the Marion Classic. Super sophomore Jalen Blackman leading the Giants against Valparaiso. The Vikings led by the Purdue recruit you saw there just a second ago, Brandon Newman. First quarter, that's why they're going to like him in West Lafayette. Newman, so athletic, nails the jumper. Barrett Kuhlman, the former Northbrook coach, guiding this Valpo team. Blackman, had a day. You saw the scoop right there and in. It's an 8-4 game, and then it's Blackman nailing the three on the pull-up. A little bit of talent in that family as Blackman had himself a game. More on that in a minute. Valpo's Colton Jones with the three early on. And then you're going to see Marion's Latrell Simpson to Karan Howard. That's good basketball. We mentioned Jalen Blackman already. He's worth another mention. He had 37 points, including this triple from the corner. They needed them all as Marion would down Valpo 60-56 behind. A big night from Mr. Blackman. East Noble in the title game tonight, the Elkhart Central Tournament. The Knights facing Fairfield. And Fairfield, well, they were in this ball game, and it was a good one. Fourth quarter, Falcons actually leading, but Ali, the Akron commit, Zip fans going to love him. He makes it a one-point game with that stick back. Falcons, though, not giving up. It's Nolan Sherrick with the pilfer and the pair, and your game is tied at 41. But East Noble down the stretch. The Knights do not fold. It's Spencer Denton with the layup. That was clutch as East Noble wins 51-47 to put a trophy in the trophy case. Moving on, Columbia City battling Northwood up in Napanee. A wild one as Northwood looking good right here. It's Nick Bean with a putback of his own shot. And this one back and forth early on. You're going to see Columbia City looking good here. Mitchell Wilson for three, and it is nothing but net. Northwood trying to answer. Trent Edwards looking, and Trent Edwards finding Bean down the lane, but it's Columbia City ultimately coming up with a 10-point victory, 64-54. How about a little jingle in the jungle? Huntington North making that short drive to Manchester to battle the Squires. First quarter, Huntington North out hot. That's Devin Newcomb burying it, and Huntington North has an early 1-point lead. Still in the first, it's Manchester's Braden Casper with the shot, and Manchester now back in the lead. They're up by 2. Fast forward to the second quarter. We already saw Devin Newcomb once. We're going to see Devin Newcomb again. He buries about a 15-footer right there. And then it's Braden Casper again for the Fighting Squires. He gets inside off glass. But Zach Doherty, talented athlete, going to play college baseball at Purdue. And he can dance and shoot. Drains the three. This was a good one. Huntington North beats rival Manchester 52-51. Oh, baby, how about a Wells County rivalry game at the Castle? Yeah, her first one. Only 9 miles between Bluffton and Norwell. First quarter action, Norwell's Eli Riley. And that, folks, is a picture-perfect start for the Knights. Bluffton answering. Everett Johnson, you're going to see him on the Fab 15 on Christmas Day here on Wayne TV. Then it's Gavin King with the three. And apparently Bluffton's Jonathan Irwin, his bank has holiday hours because that bank was open. He nails the three. Bluffton up by 6 early. Irwin led the Tigers with 11. Speaking of scoring, Norwell's Will Geiger, he would lead Norwell with 17. Then it's Levi Leidig from the corner and splashing it. How about Connor Torson? It's his turn. He had 13 points as well as the Knights take out Bluffton 61-34. At Canterbury, the Cavaliers gave Blackhawk Christian a game last Friday night. Could they keep it up against the Leo Lions? The answer would be yes. Leo's Blake Davison, he had the bucket there, though, for Leo. He had 28, but it's Will Shank to Noah Drapula. Drapula's had some big games already this season. Leo up by 1, though, in the first. How about Shank? The Holiday Stevenson, aptly named for this show. He gets the bucket, and the Cavs up 13-8. Second quarter. DJ Allen in the paint. You got to respect that game there. It's a 5-point Leo lead. Then Zach Troyer. Little lefty baby hook action. But Will Shank had himself a game. He had 20 points, and that would lead the Cavaliers. But it's not enough. It's Leo winning in Canterbury territory by a final of 69-61. Well, we're going to take a quick milk and cookie break, but when we come back, we're going to head to Northeast Corner Country. Double headers tonight at Central Noble and at West Noble. Could the top-ranked Lady Cougars stay undefeated? And will the Prairie Heights boys be able to shoot down the Chargers on their home turf? Plus, we're going to head up to Angola, where the Hornets hosted 11-3 Woodland. All that and more coming up next.
We are the Norwell Knights! All we want for Christmas is a win! Stay tuned for more highlights though! Central Noble Cougars, and you're watching the highlights zone. Let's go, CA!
Well, last year, February 24th felt a lot like Christmas to Central Noble girls basketball fans. Instead of snow at the North Pole, they were celebrating a state title with confetti at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Now, can they do it again this season? That's the question. Cougars off to a pretty good start, the #1 team in 2A, with a 13-0 record coming into tonight's doubleheader with Wallace. One of the big reasons why they've been so good, Sydney Freeman, the Ball State recruit, driving with the hoop in the layup. Central Noble up 23-4. Second quarter, Sydney hooking up with Malia Leatherman. Leatherman led everybody with 24 points. In fact, she almost outscored Wallace by herself, 27-4 at that point. Kennedy White here for Wallace. Drains the three, but it's a 33-9 ball game. And then you're going to see Central Noble doing it on offense again. Sydney, she had 17 to Anna Stainer there. The hoop and the harm, and the Cougars win this one going away, 66-26.
Really good, because we just wanted to get a redemption from last year when they beat us. It just adds another win, and it gives us stuff that we need to improve on. We all just work together as a team and just move the ball.
You know, I think anytime you get a win, that's great. I thought tonight we did an outstanding job of coming out and attacking them offensively. I thought we got out after them defensively and took things away that they wanted to do.
In the nightcap, Central Noble boys averaging 75 points a game. We're talking 9th best in the entire state. John Bodie's team trying to go 5-1, and they would start by stroking it from the outside. That's Ridley Zolman with the 3. He led the Cougs with 14. Connor Asijan, he knows what to do. He's only a freshman. It's 8-2 Central Noble out of the gate, and then it's that talented freshman yet again. 11-2 Central Noble starts this game, and they were looking good. But Wallace's Aaron Evans, every part of the rim. He had 17. Austin Miller added 23 for Wallace as Wallace upsets Central Noble on their home court 60-52. After starting out 9-0, West Noble came in on a rare 2-game losing streak. Chargers trying to turn things around against Prairie Heights. This would help Megan Godfrey with the layup. It's a 27-18 ball game in the third. And then it's Godfrey again. That was an and one. She had 10 points on the game. It's an 11-point advantage, West Noble. Now in the fourth, Kennedy Kugler, only a freshman. She got the bucket there, but Lily Mast, she was in charge tonight, had 13 points, and it would lead West Noble as the Chargers back to their winning ways, 49-29.
We just kept shooting our shots. We didn't give up, and we just, kept trying, and they eventually started to fall.
To come back home and get this win against a Prairie Heights team that really played us tough tonight. I thought they shot the ball well, and those girls really hustled against us. So it was a nice win. It was a good team win because everyone contributed.
Late game in Ligonier, West Noble boys coach Jim Best stepping down earlier this month. Galen Mast, the Chargers' interim coach. And early on, coach's team had it working. Trevor Franklin with the triple. This one is 8 all in the first. Later in the first, Prairie Heights coming the other way. This is Mike Perkins with the deuce and the abuse. You saw him go inside, then watch Perkins score from the outside straight away, and it was good when it left his hand. It's a 16-8 Prairie Heights lead. Now Joel Mast stopping, popping along the baseline. It's good. But Prairie Heights has Elijah Malone inside, and the dude can play. It's Prairie Heights going to West Noble and winning it by 10, 71-61. Prairie Heights victorious. Final stop for high school hoops, a good matchup in Steuben County. We're talking 11-3 Woodland, 8-5 Angola. Angola looking good here. It's Reese Pepler just inside the arc, so it's a 2-pointer, 2-0 Hornets. And then Pepler says, why don't I, make sure my foot's not on the line. Way deep here for the 3. Pepler peppering the net. 7-0 Angola out to an early lead. Woodland trying to counter. It's Ella Smith corralling, and Ella Smith putting it in. 7-2 at that point, but Angola, too much firepower. Sarah Duvendak with the layup here as Woodland falls at Angola 64-43. We got Comets trying Thunder, and your Highlight Zone play of the week coming up after the break.
We're bringing the highlights when the Thunder Raccoons. Turns. Go Thunder!
Oh yeah, the jungle out in Manchester, always a good place to be, but we got to head all the way back down to Marion for your Highlight Zone play of the week. You know what? Nobody had a better night than Jalen Blackman. I'm just going to say that right here. 37 points as Marion knocks off Valpo, and this was the fanciest of the two. Jalen Blackman, 37 points, and it's Marion over Valpo, 60-56. They needed every single bucket, including that one, for your play of the week. How about some college hoops now? Trine hosting the St. Andrews Products Classic. The Thunder taking on Spalding University out of Kentucky. Your name's Spalding University. You should be good at basketball, right? Well, first half, it's all about Trine. Pete Smith with the 3. It's a 28-14 Thunder lead as they double up Spalding there. And then it's Smith again. You're going to see a lot of him in the highlights. Bringing it up, pulling up, and nailing it. Smith had 18 on the game. It's a 31-14 lead for the Thunder. Later, on the rare miss by Mr. Smith, it's Elias Cumming rebounding and putting it back. It's a 14-point lead by Trine. And then, well, right before the half, who else but Pete Smith from way deep. And, yeah, that excites the crowd at the NPI Center. It's Trine winning big over Spalding, 93-55. Trine plays again tomorrow. They will face Heidelberg. Mad Ants at home, Comets. Well, Mad Ants not in action, I should say. They're out in Vegas. Comets back home. They were taking on Kalamazoo, and, well, we're tied at 1 in the second period. Brady Shaw, the newly acquired Brady Shaw, makes it 2-1. That's his first goal as a Comet. He had 13, though, down in Orlando, was their leading scorer before getting traded to Fort Wayne. Now 4-2 in the third period. The Cap'n making it happen. Jamie Shafsma converts the penalty shot. That would cut it to a 4-3 game, but the Comets do fall to Kalamazoo by a final of 5-3. Comets back home again tomorrow when they host the rival Toledo Walleye at 7:30. Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of the Highlight Zone. We'll see you next Friday.